With 3 games left to play with Aston Villa in the league, we could technically still win the league. Although it does mean that we need to hope that Liverpool, Chelsea and Man City basically lose every single one of their remaining games. Good news for us is we are kicking off today's episode with a match against Chelsea, which if we lose this, I think that basically puts the final nail in the coffin of us finishing arguably in the top 2, and it means that we are basically going to be finishing 3rd or 4th depending on what happens with Manchester City. So let's jump straight in to the Chelsea game. So this episode could be a rather long episode because basically what happens if we beat Chelsea and we beat Spurs, we then have to know what obviously is going to happen in the final game of the season, and we've got a Champions League final to play, which I think might be a standalone episode by itself at the end of the season. We need to make sure we win this game. If we don't win this game, I think our hopes for finishing 2nd or 3rd, or 1st or 2nd, is out of the window. And we are basically just trying to better what Manchester City do. Ait-Nouri with the ball to Mings. I didn't go through the starting 11, did I? Just completely ignored it. You've probably worked out by now who's actually playing. Caicedo's in on goal. Caicedo goes very, very close to scoring. Arguably, should have probably passed that. There's no real surprises in our starting 11. We are going with Gyökeres up front rather than Girassi. Other than that, that's pretty much a standard starting 11 for us. And it has been pretty much all season. Chilwell's throw to Nkunku for Chelsea. Mudryk, obviously he's going to score because he always bloody does against us. Hits the outside of the goal. Stays 0-0. Chelsea having the best chances. We've got a shot on target with a 0.00 XG. How? How is that even possible? It is hopefully cleared. Lucas, come out. Somebody... Mudryk has scored his 6th goal of the season. And I imagine that's probably his 4th against us. There is some offside stuff going on, which I have no idea what's going to happen here. I feel like it's going to count, because I'm pretty sure we've got players like on the line or something. Yeah, it's definitely counting. There was no argument there. We're 1-0 down already, and this could be such an anticlimactic end to this Villa save. If we just lose this one, and then lose against Spurs, we're basically done for, aren't we? It is Milenkovic-Savic with the ball, passes it straight to Nkunku. Great pass. Superb pass from a world-class midfielder. Nkunku's effort hits the inside of the post. Konsa clears it. Sanket heads down to Diaby. Are we going to carry on this highlight? No, we are not. Both Liverpool and Man City are also winning in their games, which means it is basically over at that point, isn't it? It is basically over. If we look at the league table, we are going to be in 4th place with 2 games left to play, which means we can potentially go up to 79 points, which is enough to put us into 3rd place. And Nkunku's cross comes in. Levi Colwill is there. And Colwill makes it 2-0. Or does he? We're getting more VAR. Pretty sure this one's going to count as well. It's not counted. It has been disallowed. It goes back to being 1-0 to Chelsea. But we have done absolutely nothing. Apparently we had a shot. And I don't think it clearly wasn't good enough because we didn't see it. But also it has a 0.00 XG. Yeah, pretty impressive. And then we've just had one right before half-time. We're not going to win if we don't shoot. Sure, we'll go for that. Straight into the second half. Probably should look at bringing off Ait-Nouri as he's on a 6.3. Sanket has dropped to a 6.5 and he's looking very, very tired. This might be a fitness result, this one. Chelsea are a slightly fitter side than us at the moment. Well, 60 minutes have been played. We've done absolutely nothing at all. So a bunch of changes. Luka Dean's going to come on for Ait-Nouri. We're going to do Sanket off for Kramashi. We'll do Kramashi. Is a Mazzala, so I feel like he's better in that position. We're going to do Son coming on the right-hand side. He is still slightly injured. Do we do Diaby off as well? Maybe we do that, and we do that. There we go. So Gyökeres onto the left-hand side. Girassi coming on up front. We are not doing very well at all. We've had all the possession as well. That's the frustrating thing. We've got 56% possession, but only 3 shots. We're just not getting anywhere near their goal, apparently. Into the final 10 minutes, we've had no highlights in the second half. Very few in the first. Luka Dean with a free kick for us. He's gone for a shot. He's gone for a shot from there. What were you expecting was going to happen? Man City is 6-0 up against West Ham. I don't know why they're going for goal difference here, but they are apparently going for goal difference. We've lost 1-0 against Chelsea in a very underwhelming match, which I'm not happy with. I don't like what I saw from the team. That's what I'm trying to say. And I think, looking at the league table, we've got 2 games left to play, so we can get potentially onto 79 points, which is going to be enough to put us ahead of Man City. However, because of their 7-0 win against West Ham, their goal difference is far superior to ours. And looking at the league table as well, Arsenal have a game in hand over us. If they win that, they go on to 71 points. So they are in this battle. Arsenal are most definitely in this battle with us. we are going to go forward to tomorrow, or the other side of the Arsenal-Brentford game, because that is kind of a key thing. Brentford need to win as well. That is big. That is very big. Thank you very much, Brentford. A 1-1 draw means that we stay fourth anyway. It was always going to happen, but it is now 4 points between us and Arsenal, and we've got 2 games left to play, and one of them is against Nottingham Forest. They've won 5 games so far this season. Yes, one of them was against us. I'm hoping they don't do the double over us. Right, match number 2 then is at home against Spurs. But before we even get there, Everton have beaten Chelsea, which doesn't mean much for anything, but it does mean that Liverpool stay top of the table. Liverpool also did just lose, I think. Yeah, they lost against Spurs recently, which has kind of brought Spurs into this fight as well. Because if they win, they'll be on 70 points, which means they could technically go ahead of us. But I'm hoping our goal difference is great enough. Arsenal have Wolves. Wolves are in a relegation scrap as well. Please, Wolves, do us a favour. Right, the starting lineup then for the Spurs game is going to be Perry in goal, Goldson, Konsa, Mings and Doyle in defence, Milenkovic-Savic playing as that regista with Kramashi, and Sanket in midfield ahead of him, Diaby, Son and Gyökeres leading the lines. It's not going to be Gyökeres, it's going to be Girassi. Son playing against Spurs once again. I want a goal, I want a good performance from you. You've literally not done one all season. I mean, it's not true, he's definitely put in some good performances, but if there's ever a time to do it, son, now is that time. Edwards with a free kick for Spurs to Wharton, flicks his head on. Goldson clears, but not very far. I'm trying Milenkovic-Savic in that regista role because we are missing Douglas Luiz through. I think he's injured or he might just be very tired. Goldson loses out. Lucas Perry calmly doesn't want to pick that one up, just controls it well just outside of his own goal line. Diaby to Goldson, back to Konsa. Left-hand side is Callum Doyle. Not really a left-back, but fitness concerns means kind of has to be. Sanket gets it from Son. Through ball, finds the former Spurs man. Girassi's in front. He's trying to get some space for himself. And oh my word, Kepa makes the save. Son almost blasted that one into the bottom corner. We get a corner ourselves. Son is the man to take it then, right-footed. Who have we got in there? It's towards Milenkovic-Savic at the front post. It's cleared. Son decides, doesn't want to carry that one on. I've seen that happen far too many times. In that situation, Son would have kept that alive. He would have kicked that ball, kept it in play, and maybe tried to whip across him whilst all the defenders were up. Son collects this. Back to Tyrone Mings. We are 9 minutes into this match. Girassi loses out, and now Pavlidis finds Kulusevski. Goes on the ground, finds Marcus Edwards as well. Cuts inside, plays it through to Basuma, and Basuma puts that in space. Considering how far into this match we are, a lot has gone on, hasn't it? There's a lot going on. Man United are beating Palace. Elsewhere, the one that we really need to look at is actually an evening kickoff, which is the Arsenal versus Wolves one. Basuma with a free kick a long, long way out, so he's not going to shoot. It has fallen for Kulusevski, and Kulusevski does shoot. It is 1-0, but we're getting VAR. I think it's going to count, so I don't think it's necessary. There you go, the goal has counted. It is 1-0 to Spurs. Are we going to do the same thing that we did, I think, the end of last season, wasn't it? Where we just collapsed. We were good all the way until the final couple of matches, and then we just threw it all away. We were really bad. Wharton to Pavlidis, touch gets past his man. Perry makes a save, gives away a corner. We're going to see the corner as well. Marcus Edwards goes over to take it. Left-footed from the left-hand side. Lucas Perry comes out, comes onto it, claims it well. Is the highlight carrying on? No, it is not. Son and Girassi playing poorly. Both on 6-5. Sanket on a 6-6. We've got Doyle on a 6-5 as well as a left-back. Milenkovic-Savic on a 6-6. Just jumped up to a 6-7. For the second match in a row, we're just not doing anything, are we? We're just not doing anything at all. Half-time then it is 1-0 to Spurs and we have been rubbish. What was that get your act together? It's fired everybody up. The strikers are both on 6-4s, or 2 of the 3 anyway. Already 10 minutes into the second half, and so far no highlights. We're getting all the possession, just not doing anything with it. Just doing absolutely nothing. 62% possession, and we're doing nothing with it. Right, 65 minutes in, time for some changes. It is Gyökeres coming on. Son, have we got anyone? I mean, Rooney can play on the right. There we go. So Diaby on the left. Rooney goes over to the right-hand side. Anyone else playing badly? Sanket playing badly. So we'll do Gravenberch. Why not? I mean, Diaby's struggling as well, but we've got no other left or right-sided players. Come on, Luca Dean, maybe? Do we do that? I mean, he can kind of play there, can't he? I can't believe I'm doing this. I genuinely cannot believe I'm doing that. I'm playing Luca Dean in an inside forward role. We've done 4 changes there as well, haven't we? We need something, just anything to happen. We've got some shots away. We've still got the majority of the possession. And we're doing nothing with it. Edwards with the ball for Spurs. Rooney nicks it off. So here we go. Can we see all of the subs combining? Connor Goldson just inside the Spurs half. Dodgy bit of football there, Connor. Just wandering around on the edge of, on the halfway line. Not really good at control though, are you? Tyrone Mings can go forward. Finds Gravenberch. Back to Mings. Left-hand side is a couple of options. Concert is now on the ball. What are we doing? We've got 10 minutes to find an equaliser. Doyle to Gravenberch. Luca Dean on that left-hand side. Ball through to Gyökeres. In on goal. He has to score. He does score. The flag goes up. It's not going to count. We're getting VAR. I think it might count. It's been disallowed. You absolute clown, Gyökeres. How close was this? He was offside. He was definitely offside. I mean, that is frustrating to say the least. So frustrating. The first thing we've done all match, and he was offside. Davies with the ball, intercepted by Kramaschke. It is Gyökeres with it. You're the lead striker, mate, and you're inside your own half. Ezri Konsa to Tyrone Mings. Still a possible opportunity here. Luca Dean's on the left-hand side. Gyökeres is making a run. Callum Doyle. Ball through. Gyökeres this time blasts it into the back of the net. This time he's on the side. And we equalise against Spurs. And that could be a massive, massive goal for us in the grand scheme of things. It doesn't mean a huge amount to the league table, but it does mean that we are not dropping any... Well, I say not dropping any points. We're only dropping 2 points rather than 3. Rooney down that right-hand side. Is there going to be a late winner for us? Kramaschke's in on goal. He's gone for goal himself. He wins a corner. You should have passed it, mate. You really should have just passed that. On the floor, you had... I think Gyökeres was in there. I think even Gravenberch was in there. But no, you went it alone. Luca Dean goes over to take the corner then. What have we got in there? Plenty of options, obviously. Towards the middle, it's Connor Goldson. He's not going to get there. Davies clears it. Keep it alive, Ryan. Down the left-hand side, Gravenberch goes for a run. He's got plenty in the middle. Get your cross in. Or pass it to somebody who can. Callum Doyle to Luca Dean. Back to Milenkovic-Savic. Kramaschke's there. It's taken a deflection. Benjamin Kramaschke's claiming it. I don't think it's really his goal, is it? But we have taken the lead in the 91st minute out of 94 against Spurs. What a turnaround. The subs have really made the difference. I'm going to do a final change, and this is literally time wasting. Tommy Doyle's coming on to waste a bit of time. And oh my word, we have 2 minutes of injury time to play to just hold on. Oh, no. Pedro Porro to Asprilla, back to Porro. Crosses the ball in towards the back post. Konsa clears it. Rooney should be getting there first and does so. We've got 30 seconds. Milenkovic-Savic, ball upfield. Gyökeres is nowhere near it. I'm not sure what he thought where that ball was going. Davies keeps this alive, possibly for Spurs. Asprilla down the left. I'm just looking at that clock. Ball comes in. Richarlison's there. He's hit the post. Callum Doyle, what are you... Football Manager, I want to throw you out the window and you're a digital copy. What is that? What has possibly happened here? Asprilla's cross comes in. Richarlison's effort hits the post. Callum Doyle's control's awful. And then he just kicks it into the net. Just kicks it straight into the net. And it's 2-2. Oh, that moment there might screw up our chances of Champions League football. That's ridiculous. Right, we are going to click continue a couple more times. So we've qualified for the Europa League, which is not really interesting at all. Arsenal have beaten Wolves 3-0. It means we're going to have one more match in this episode, which is going to be against Forest, who are bottom of the table, already relegated. We need to make sure that we win that game. If we win that game, we will finish at least 4th. We might even finish 3rd, depending on... Can we do profile, I guess? Who are Man City playing in the final game of the season? Where are they? They're playing Brentford, who have something to play for. They're in a relegation scrap themselves. Forest have nothing to play for. We should be good enough to win that. So we're going to go forward to the Forest game. And then we're going to have one more episode of this season and this save, which is going to be a one-off match of the Champions League final. Right, realistically then, we just need to play our game and win. It sounds really simple. We're going to drop Callum Doyle because... It's annoyed me, okay? That goal has annoyed me. It's going to be Perry in goal. Goldson, Konsa, Mings, Aït-Nouri, Louise, Milenkovic-Savic, Sanket, Diaby-San and Gyökeres. Basically, this is kind of our best 11, I think. And if we were to do another season, this is what it would be. Plus a brand new right back, because I don't think Connor Goldson's it anymore. Arguably, he wasn't it in the first place. So the only tough thing about this, I say only tough thing, is the fact that we're away from home. Against Forest at the City Ground is not going to be an easy place to go to, but they literally have nothing to fight for at all. They are relegated. They've been relegated for a while. We just need to make sure that we do our job, win the game. We're finishing 4th. Obviously, we've got a highlight going on. Douglas Luiz with the ball to Diaby. Back to Douglas Luiz. I thought it was going to be Connor Goldson, but no, we've just lost the ball because of miscommunications. Huskovic goes across to Ola Aina on that right-hand side. He's got loads of pace as far as I'm aware. Down the right, can he get his cross away? He does. Mings easily intercepts it. That's what we like. Back to Tyrone Mings from Sanket. Now Sanket again with the ball forward. Finds Gyökeres in the centre circle. Diaby's off on the right-hand side. Elanga with a slide tackle that didn't need to be made, if I'm perfectly honest. It's Niakate, could be his name. Elanga gets it back again. Forest are looking good. This is not ideal. Aït-Nouri's... It's 1-0 to Forest. It's 1-0 to Nottingham Forest, a team that won 5 times all season, and we are already losing to them after 7 minutes, and they've got literally nothing to play for. I'm very confused as well as to why 4th, 5th and 6th are in a light green. Does that mean only 3 teams get Champions League? Have we dropped down in the whole coefficient rankings, and that's what that means? Gibbs White's cross comes in. Milenkovic-Savic, or Goldson, I think, actually cleared that one. Elanga's going to keep it alive. 22 minutes on the clock. Forest are looking like the best team in the world at the moment. Aït-Nouri intercepts easily. Douglas Luiz returning to the starting 11 after a week out. Sanket, ball in the middle, finds Milenkovic-Savic. Luiz, Sanket again, passing around in triangles, trying to find some space. It's fine. I think it's fine. It might be fine until we pass the ball straight to a Forest player. It's now found its way to Diaby on the right-hand side. Use your pace. Down the wing, buddy. Down the wing. Just keep going all the way down the wing. Gyökeres should be in the middle. Son should be in the middle as well. Milenkovic-Savic collects it. He's got an option in Sanket. Son's on the left. Goes to Aït-Nouri instead, actually. He's cut inside. He's been kicked by Ola Aina. It's going to be a penalty. And can he get booked for that? Can that be a red as well? I feel like it should be a red because it was a goal-scoring opportunity. It is a penalty. We have a chance to equalise. It is number 6, Dougie Luiz, stepping up to take it. Ola Aina is a lucky boy to still be on the pitch at this point. Luiz then goes for the penalty into the bottom right-hand side. Nothing Vlachimodos could do about it. I'm still not sure if that's how it's said, but it's Odysseys is what's written on the pitch, but we're going to call him Vlachimodos. It's 1-1 against Forest, and that is good enough for now to keep us in 4th place. Although if Arsenal score, I think our goal difference is still good enough. Even a draw here should be okay, unless Arsenal win like 7 or 8-0. Son to Sanket. It's another penalty. Is it another penalty minutes later? It is another penalty, so Douglas Luiz has a chance to get second of the game. It's not Douglas Luiz, it's Gyökeres. Why is it Gyökeres stepping up to take this? I'm not complaining, I'm just confused as to why we've decided to change our penalty takers. Gyökeres does score, gets his, I think, 12th goal of the season. We take the lead against Forest, but we did need a lot of help from basically Nottingham Forest defenders kicking our players. That puts us on to 77 points, which is not going to be enough. It is enough. Hold on, Man City are losing. Man City are losing to Brentford, which means we move up into 3rd place in the table. Liverpool currently top, 4 points clear. I think they've just taken the lead in their match. We're doing well. Keep going, football. Do a football. I'm not really paying attention to what we're doing at the moment. So we're up into 3rd. Liverpool are winning their game against Chelsea. That's a title decider. That's massive. That match is absolutely massive. We need to keep an eye on what's going on in the Brentford game. Arguably the Leeds-Arsenal game as well, but luckily for us, Leeds are winning that one. Nothing is happening here in Nottingham. We're going to do a couple of changes. Diaby's coming off for Rooney. Son's coming off for... We're doing it again. Why not? Luca Dean, left winger. Literally, this might be his last game for the club, and the last 2 matches we've played him as a left winger, which is definitely not his position. Shade loses out to Aït-Nouri. Tyrone Mings. Maybe, actually, Aït-Nouri's probably better as a left winger, because I think he can play there. Rooney collects this ball forward. He's got Gyökeres in the middle, gets some space, passes it to Gyökeres. Struijk intercepts it, though. Danilo's ball forward to Kevin Shade, plays it back to Pascal Struijk. Highlight randomly ends. There was no highlight in that. Final 10 minutes, we still have the lead. We still have 3rd place in the table. What do we do? Do we do some changes? I want to try that. Aït-Nouri, they can both kind of ish play there. We're going to swap you around. Why not? Sanket's going to come off for Cremaschi because Cremaschi obviously had a very vital part to play in that last match. We're going to do just one change. We've got 2 more that we can do. Man City have leapt over us once again, so they've equalised against Brentford. It looks like it's a 4th place finish. Man City have just won their match as well, so it looks like it's a 4th place finish. We did beat Forest in the final game of the season. Not the most exciting. I guess, 4's good. 4's still pretty good. Liverpool were crowned champions then in that title decider at Stamford Bridge, which must have been so much better as well. The fact that it was away from home, they win to be crowned champions. We are in the Europa League. Arsenal in the Champions League. What? How? Why is that a thing? So why are Arsenal in the Champions League? Have you won something that I'm not aware of? You won the Europa League. You beat Spurs in the final. I bet that was fun. You beat Spurs in the final, which means you get in the Champions League. Why are we not in the Champions League? Because only 3 teams go in the Champions League. Hold on. I know we're kind of going off piste. Sure, we'll say that. We should be getting 4 teams in there. Why aren't we getting 4 teams in there? Why are we not getting 4 teams in the Champions League? Is it because bloody Arsenal, isn't it? It's because Arsenal won the Europa League. We don't get Champions League, even though in the final episode of this save, we are going to be playing the Champions League final against PSG at the Nou Camp. And we are certainly in cracking form for that, aren't we?